सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे
वन्दे
गुरुपरम्पराम्।
गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना
ॐ
भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु
पुनस्तु
सह वीर्यं
वीर्यं
कर्वावहै
करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
ॐ
ॐ
शान्ति
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 शान्ति शान्तिः।
शान्तिः। Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. So we had completed the third mantra of the first section of the second chapter of Kathopanishad, right? So we are now on 214. Second chapter, first section, the fourth mantra. Please unmute yourself and we will chat. Swapnantam jagritantam cha
स्वप्नान्तं जागरितान्तं च
जागृतानं च
उभौ येनानुपश्यति
उभो
उभौ
येनानुपश्यति
येनानुपश्यति
महान्तं विभुमात्मानं
महान्तं
महान्तं
विभुमात्मानं
विभुमात्मानं
वा धीरो न शोच्यति
मत्वा
मत्वा
धीरो
धीरो
न
न
शोचति।
शोचति.
Okay. So this is the start of the fourth mantra. And first look at the word meanings. Yena. By this Atma alone, Anupashyati. One sees, one perceives. Ubhau. Both. Swapnantam cha Jagritantam. Both the objects of in a dream and the objects in the waking state. Right. So both objects one sees, Matva, having known Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam. Mahantam Vibhum, the great, all-pervading, Sarvavyapakam Atmanam. Dhiraha na sochati. Dhiraha, the discriminative person, na shochati, does not grieve anymore, is not subject to sorrow. So it's a extremely important sloka. So in the previous verse, we said that we should understand that we are not the body. That was the text of the previous mantra. Now he is saying that, am I the mind? This is what we should see. Once you are convinced that you are not the body, you discard the body as anatma. You say, I am not the body. Then you go to the next, which is the mind. Are you the mind? When I say I am happy, when the mind is happy. When I say I am sad, when the mind is sad. When I say the mind is disturbed, therefore I am disturbed. What am I doing? I am taking the mind as me. And according to Vedanta, this mano abhimanaha, this uh, identification with the mind, it is a delusion of the highest order. Why? Because Srishti Kale, when Srishti is there, mind is there. Pralaya Kale, when Srishti has gone, mind is also gone. Therefore, Srishti Kale, mind is there. Pralaya Kale, mind is destroyed. I, the Atma, am always there. How do I know? Because all conditions of the mind can be classified into the three avasthas, the three states. What are they? Jagrata avastha, the mind is extroverted. It has a world outside. How do I know? It goes through all the five jnanendriyas. Then swapna avastha, mind is not focused outside, but is focused inside me, but is full of impressions, thoughts, which came from the outside world. And Sushupti Avastha, the mind is resolved. It does not have a presence in the external world. It does not project an internal world. But I am aware of that resolved passive mind. And therefore, I am aware of Jagrata Avastha. I am aware of Swapna Avastha. I am aware of Sushupti Avastha. Therefore, I am the one who is aware of the three avasthas. Therefore, I am the avastha traya sakshihi. I am the witness of the mind. I am not the mind. The mind is an instrument. It is available in two avasthas. It's not available in sushupti avasthas. So it goes and comes. But I remain. Therefore, what should I understand? When the mind goes, I don't go. When the mind reappears, I don't reappear because I have never gone. Therefore, I am this non appearing, non disappearing Sakshi Chaitanyam, the witness consciousness. The question there is, how do I observe this consciousness? What is the answer? What is the answer to how do I observe this consciousness?
To reflect it, I mean,
You are the observer, the consciousness principle, and therefore the observer can never become the object of observation. So when I say I am perceiving the consciousness, which is a phrase often used, I am seeing myself. What are you doing? If you are seeing yourself as the consciousness principle, you are not observing the consciousness principle. You are just saying that I am that consciousness principle. You have to claim that you are that consciousness principle, Atman, but there will be no struggle to observe it because you are the observer. And that is only an understanding. You have to say that, yes, I am that observer consciousness. And therefore he says, Yena. Because of that observer consciousness, that Sakshi Chaitanyam alone, that witness principle alone, Anupasyati, any person sees, experiences what? Swapna Antam. So here, Swapnantam is Swapna Antam. Here, Antam means the inner world, the prapancha, the swapna prapancha. So swapna is swapna, antam is prapancha. Swapnantam is swapna prapancha. Therefore, yena, because of the sakshi chaitanyam alone, anupashyati, a person experiences swapna prapancha, cha, and jagritantam, the jagrat prapancha. So when you say prapancha, it means the universe as well as the objects in that universe. Because of that observer consciousness alone, I am able to see the external universe. I am able to see the internal universe of my dream. And you have to remember, we have seen this many times. Outer world is what? Bhautika prapancha. Is composed of five elements. Inner world is what?
Antarika?
No. Bhautika has to be connected. Bhautika is five elements alone. Inner world is what? Vasana Maya Prapancha, composed of all the impressions which you have, composed of all the thoughts which you picked up in the experiences in the external world. Therefore, I, the observer alone, I, the Sakshi Chaitanyam alone, am the experiencer of both these worlds. And then he says, Matva, may you know this Atma. When you say, may you know this Atma, remember that it is not the knowledge of the Atma as an object of knowledge. Because the moment you say object of knowledge, you are going to say, I am the observer and this is the object. Right? So that is not the way you know the Atma because Your Atma is observer itself. And therefore, you cannot look for that Atma outside you. So, Matva, knowing, is simply claiming that you are the Atma. Aham Brahma Asmi. That firm conviction is what is by Matva. May you know Atmanam, this real I, body consciousness. May you know the body is temporary, but the consciousness which pervades the body, which enlivens the body, that consciousness is permanent, eternal, non destroyable, and therefore only Mahantam. The greatest one is that Atma. And once I know the Atma as myself, eternal, never destroyed, and different from the bodies, what is the benefit? Dhiraha na sochati. You will not have any grief in life because all grief, remember, arises out of what? Resistance to events, resistance to what comes in your life as a event. All resistance has to be replaced by acceptance. Resistance produces grief, acceptance produces peace. And how do you accept? You understand, assimilate the law of karma, that whatever has to happen will necessarily have to happen, right? I can do my best to mitigate the effect of that happening, but sometimes my efforts may be sufficient to mitigate or indeed completely eliminate some problem, but it is not always possible. Therefore, what is the prayer I do? Yad yad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanu rupam. Yat yat bhavyam. Whatever has to happen, bhavatu. Let it happen, O Bhagavan, O Lord. But don't let it be a random happening. Whatever happening should happen, purva karma anurupam. In accordance with the law of karma, in accordance with my purva karma, only let it happen. And then I will not resist because I know that whatever is coming my way is something which is the fruit of what I have done. So the wise person, Dhiraha, objectively accepts what happens, right? And of course, he also contributes. So as a karta, you contribute to the welfare of the world. As a bhokta, you accept whatever is happening to your body mind complex. This is moksha. And therefore, it says, Dhiraha na shochati. And when we say na shochati, we have to talk about, in our language, FIR reduction. The frequency, the intensity, and the recovery time, FIR. Frequency, intensity, and recovery time of all mental disturbances have to come down slowly. The frequency has to come down from maybe 10 times a day to once a day. Intensity has to come down from throwing plates and glasses at everybody to maybe just grumbling. And reaction recovery time has to come down from being angry for weeks on end. My anger has to become less and less and less. The time for me, for my mind to come back to normal, which is called recovery time. Right? So here we are talking about what? The mind which is not focused outside. The mind which is a non-extrovert mind. And that mind alone has a capacity to understand itself as the observer consciousness principle. That mind will say, yes, I am the Sakshi Chaitanya. I am different from all that I observe. And therefore, I am different from the body, which is anatma, made up of matter. What am I? I am that non-anatma, that non-material principle, pure consciousness. Therefore, all attributes belong to material objects. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all these are attributes. Remember, they belong only to the objects which you experience. So that is the law. Any attribute. So there are two parts of this law. Number one is I can never be the object which I experience because I am the experiencer. There is an object which is experienced. Number two is any attribute which I experience. During my experience of the object, that attribute belongs only to the object and never to me because I am that Nirguna Chaitanyam only. Okay, we go to mantra number 5. So please unmute yourself and we'll chant. Ya imam madvadam veda
य
य
इमं
इमं
imam
मद्वदं
madvadam
वेद
veda
वेद
atmanam jivamantikat
atmanam
आत्मानं
आत्मानं
jivamantikat
जीवमन्तिकात्
जीवमन्तिकात्
ईशानं भूतभव्यस्य
ईशानं
ईशानं
ईशानम्
भूतभव्यस्य
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 न ततो न ततो विजुगुप्सते
न
न
ततो
ततो
तो
विजुगुप्सते
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 न ततो विजुगुप्सते
न
न
ततो
न
ततो
ततो
विजुगुप्सते
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 एतद्वै तत्
एतद्वै
एतद्वैतत्
एतद्वैतत्
Okay, so look at the words. Yaha Veda, that one who knows. Imam Jivam Atmanam. So that you have to pick up the Jivam from the last word and put it in front. Ya Imam Veda, Imam Jivam Atmanam. That person who knows this Jivatma. So Jivam Atmanam, Jivatma, who is what? Madhvadam, who is the Bhokta. Madhvadam is experiencer of karma phala. So one who knows this Jivatma, the experiencer of karma phalam. So Madhvadam is adjective to Jivatma. And how does he know him? Antikat. To be identical with Ishanam, the Lord, who is Bhut Bhavya Asya, the Lord of the past and the future. And you have to supply present also. What happens to that person? What is the sentence? Yaha imam jivam atmanam veda madvadam. The one who knows this jivatma, who is the experiencer of the fruits of action, antikat, to be the same as, to be non-different from Ishanam Bhuta Bhavyasya, the Lord of the past and the future, na Vijagupsate, does not need to seek security tataha thereafter. Etad vaitat. This is indeed that. Etad vaitat. This is indeed that which you asked about. Hemraj is telling Nachiketas. So, what is being said here? Hemraj is asking us to inquire whether the wave is real or the water is real, whether the angle is real or whether the gold is real. This is what is required to be inquired into. And here, remember that we have to recall all the teachings from Tattva Bodha. As I keep saying, even though you have progressed far, this group has done Tattva Bodha, has completed Bhagavad Gita. Some of you all are there in the advanced Bhagavad Gita class. We have completed two Upanishads. Even though all this is there, I am never tired of repeating Tattva Bodha has to be constantly read again and again and again. Right? Why? Because the terms are extremely important. And therefore, Virat is what? What is the definition of Virat? From Tattva.
Hello,
Sthula
Ravi.
Shariram with the reflecting conscious. RC.
Macro scale.
Sthula Prapancha with Maya.
In macro scale.
Okay.
Yes.
Sthula Prapancha plus
Pancha.
Brahman. Okay. The physical world plus Brahman. Remember, Virat is not just physical world. Sthula Prapancha plus Brahman is Virat. What is Sukshma Prapancha plus Brahman?
Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha.
And what is the third one?
Antaryami.
And what is one common term for all these three?
Brahman.
The
Reflected
reflected consciousness.
consciousness. Remember, when you say Virat, when you say Sthula Prapancha plus consciousness, you are saying that Brahman, that consciousness reflected in Sthula Prapancha is called Virat. That same Brahman reflected in Sukshma Prapancha is called Hiranyagarbha. That same Brahman reflected in Karana Prapancha is called Antaryami. All the three put together, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana Prapancha, is called what?
Maya.
It's called Maya. Very good.
Yeah.
Right? And consciousness, Brahman reflected in Maya is called what?
Ishvara.
Ishvara. So all these things we should constantly remember. So all Namarupas put together is Maya. The visible world is Vyakta Maya. After Pralayam, the invisible world is Avyakta Maya. Ishvara is Maya Sahita Brahman. Right? So the topic of this mantra is this, that all the Atmas which you look at, Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, Antaryami, they are all the same. So Karana Prapancha plus consciousness is Antaryami, also called Ishvara, right? So these are complications which you must remember. Sometimes when you say Ishvara as the cause of the Hiranyagarbha, it means Karana Prapancha. Sometimes when you talk about Ishvara, you're talking about Virat plus Hiranyagarbha plus Antaryami. So contextually, one has to get the meaning. So here he
Raviji,
says, yes, please.
may I ask a question?
Of course, Nataraj.
See, you mentioned that Antaryami is universal causal body plus OC, Hiranyagarbha universal subtle plus OC, Virat is universal gross plus OC.
Correct.
Ishvara and Maya is the sum of Virat plus Hiranyagarbha plus Antaryami.
Correct.
And Ishvara, you said, is Maya plus OC. But
Maya is not the sum of what they call Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Antaryami. Maya is the sum of Sthula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha, Karana Prapancha.
that is without the OC.
Without the OC.
Okay, so Maya is Virat, Hiranyagarbha plus Antaryami minus OC.
Minus the OC.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. So now he says, Yaha imam atmanam veda. Supposing one understands this Atma, this Jivatma, as what? As my higher nature. So Jivam, this Atmanam, this OC is called Jiva when it is associated with the individual body-mind complex, also called Vyashti Namarupa, individual Namarupa. And who is this individual Jiva, this individual Namarupa Jiva? He is Madhvadam. So Madhvadam can be broken into Madhu plus Adam. Madhu means what?
Honey.
Sweet. Sweet.
Okay. Madhu is actually sweet. So honey is sweet, so we call it Madhu, right? So Madhu, sweet. Idham is the receiver. And therefore the karma phalam which you do is supposed to be sweet, right? You do karma because you want to experience something pleasant. That's why karma phalam is called Madhu also. So Madhu, the receiver of karma. So this Jiva Matmanam, the individual Jiva, is the receiver of the karma phalam in the form of varieties of sukham and dukkha. Right? So the Madhu here has to be taken as karma phalam in this context. And how does he know him? Antikat. So Antikat is a very, very important word. Antik, Antikat literally means very closely, very, very closely. So Jivatma is known very, very closely. What is the word which we should use for that?
Identical.
Identical is okay, but there's another word which I use. All these words you have to remember. Aparoksha. What is aparoksha?
Direct.
Direct.
What does direct mean? If you explain that I know Brahman in a aparoksha manner, how will you explain?
I claim myself as Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi.
Yes, you will, when you know something is not different from you, that is aparoksha jnana. Okay, so aparoksha here means antikat. Antikat means I know that Brahman as myself, that Jivatma as myself. Ishanam, this Atma which appears as Ishvara, Bhut Bhavyasya, Lord of the Bhut and Bhavya, past and future, and Vartamana also, and the present also. We supply. What happens to that person after this knowledge? Na tataha vijugupsate. He does not shrink away. He does not seek security. He never feels insecure. So jugupsa is basically hatred or dislike, right? So you don't like the situation. You are feeling insecure. Therefore, na tataha vijugupsate. He does not seek to be secure because he is never insecure, right? Why does he not feel insecure? Is there not a world in front of him? Yes. But his perception has changed. He has he is now perceiving the world as Vyavaharika Satyam. And he perceives himself as what?
Paramarthika Satyam.
Paramarthik.
Paramarthika Satyam. Therefore, the a lower order of reality, Vyavaharika Satyam is transactional order of reality, which is a lower order to the absolute order, the Paramarthika Satyam. Just like the dream snake in your dream can be a big threat to you, the dreamer, but that dream snake cannot pose any threat to you as the waker. Why? Because Pratibhasika Satyam, which is the name for the dream, Pratibhasika Satyam is a lower order of reality than Vyavaharika Satyam. So these three, which remember, Paramarthika Satyam, absolute order of reality, which is higher than Vyavaharika Satyam, the transactional order of reality in which we all are at the moment, and the Pratibhasika order of reality, which is the order of a dream. So idea here is that a lower order of reality can never pose a threat to the higher order of reality. Once you know that you are Brahman, Paramarthika Satyam, nothing which happens in the world can pose a threat to you. And that is why we call it Leela, a game. A game never poses a threat to you. And then Yamaraj says, Etat Vaitat. This literal translation, this is indeed that. You should understand the saying that, Hey Nachiketas, this discussion which I am having is indeed the discussion on the Atma that you asked about. So this is indeed that. This is indeed that Atma which you wanted to know. So what is being said here? As long as you are in the format, triangular format, where there is you, the Jiva, where there is the Jagat different from you, and where there is Ishvara different from you, insecurity can never go away. Once you decide that Jiva and Ishvara are the same, I am Atma, then what happens? The Jiva and Ishvara collapse into one entity, Atma. What remains is Jagat, Anatma. Therefore, you have the binary format called Atma, Anatma format, which ultimately is nothing but one, non-dual. Why? Because Anatma is not different from Atma. Anatma is Mithya, a dependent entity. Right? And therefore, Shankara says in his Bhashyam, Yavat hi, as long as Atmanam Anityam Manyate. You can understand? Yavat hi Atmanam Anityam Manyate, as long as you look upon yourself as anityam, not eternal, what happened? Bhayam adhyasthaha. Adhyasthaha means superimposed. There will be a superimposition. There will be adhyasa of bhayam. Bhayam is fear and insecurity. Why? Because you are considering yourself to the body. If you consider yourself to be the body, then the attacks of prarabdha cannot be avoided. Right? And therefore he says, Yavat hi atmanam anityam manyate. As long as you think that you are anityam, the body mind complex, and therefore bhayam adhyastaha, therefore you are surrounded by fear, tavat, until that time, atmanam gopayatum ichchati. Gopayatum is its protection. Gopaha, protection. Therefore, tavad. Atmanam here is reflexive pronoun. Therefore, atmanam, you. Until then, you will ichchate, you will seek gopayatum, protection. You will go to some guru, you will go to some baba, you will go to some god man, you'll spend a lot of money. And if you don't do all that, you will pray to Ishvara saying, please protect me, please protect me. Remember, from the standpoint of the Vedantic seeker, the advanced Vedantic seeker, going to Ishvara indicates what? For protection. Praying daily to Ishvara for protection. What are you conveying? What message are you conveying
That you are
to Ishvara?
different from Ishwara.
Sorry?
That you are Ishwara are different.
That you and Ishvara are different. That you are finite and Ishvara is infinite. Therefore, you are seeking protection. So that is not what we are aiming at, right? Tu yada. Shankara says, tu yada. On the other hand, nityam advaitam atmanam vijaniti. When you understand, on the other hand, when you understand yourself as nityam, eternal, advaitam, non-dual, atmanam, the atman, which means you switch from triangular format of Jiva Jagat Ishvara to binary format of Atma Anatma. Right? What happens? Then he makes a very beautiful statement. When you do this, what happens? Tada kim kahaha kutaha va gopayatum icchet. Then, once you have made this mental switch, who will want to protect whom from what? Tada kim kaha kuto va gopayatum icchet. Who will want to protect whom from what? There is no protector. There is no protected. In Advaitam, there are no threats because for a threat, you need someone else. And therefore, this Ekatma, who is both the Paramatma and Jivatma, is the ultimate truth which you should seek to know. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break in case anybody has questions. Okay. I'm happy that no questions are there. You're all Gyanis. Okay. Right. So now, mantra number 6. Please unmute yourself. Let us chant. Yaf purvam tapaso jatam
Yah
Yah
पूर्वं
त्वं
तपसो
तपसो
जातं
जातं
adhyaf purvamajayatah
अद्यः
अद्भयं
पूर्वमजायत
पूर्वमजायत
Am pravisya tishtantam
Guham
हां प्रविश्य तिष्ठन्तं
गुहां
yo bhute bhirvyapyashat vyapashyatah
यो
यो भूतेभिर्व्यप्यश्यत
यत्
yo bhute bhirvyapashyatah
यो
यो भूतेभिर्व्यपश्यतः
भूतिर्भविष्यत्
etadvai tat.
एतद्वै
एतद्वै तत्
Okay. So yaha vyapashyat. The one who knows what? The Atma. The one who knows the Atma to be Jatam. To be Jatam is the first born over here. To be Hiranyagarbha. Jatam Purvam. Born in the beginning. So you take it as who was the first to be born? Hiranyagarbha from Antaryami. Therefore, Jatam here is Jatam Purvam has to be understood as Hiranyagarbha, Lord Brahmaji. So one who knows Lord Brahmaji, and how was he born? Tapasaha, from the tapas of whom? Hiranyagarbha was born from whom?
Antaryami.
Antaryami or Ishvara. Therefore,
Mm.
Jatam Purvam Tapasaha. He who knows that he, the Atma, is the same as Hiranyagarbha, who was born in the beginning from Ishvara's tapas. And Yaha Ajatyaha, who was born Purvam Adhyaha, before the waters. Okay, all very complicated wordings will explain. Pravishya, Guham, having entered the heart, Tishtantam resides there, Bhute Bihi, with the body and the sense organs. Etadvai Tatu. This indeed is that which you asked about. So, this is about Hiranyagarbha. Right? This is level of bhakti. And remember that bhakti is an intermediate level because from bhakti we have to go to jnana. In mantra number 5, what did we say? Atma alone is Ishvara, right? Antaryami. Now here, Yamraj is saying that it is also Atma alone which appears as Hiranyagarbha. So not only is the Karana Prapancha Sahita Brahman Ishvara, the Samashti Sukshma Prapancha Sahita Brahman Hiranyagarbha is also Atma only. So he says, Yaha Hiranyagarbha Purvam Ajayate. Hiranyagarbha was first born from Ishvara. Why? Because Samashti Sukshma Shariram is born from what? From the causal Samashti Karma Shariram. Right. And now when he talks of Adbhyaha, the waters, the water represents the Pancha Mahabhutani. Why? Because why does the waters here represent Pancha Mahabhutani? Because one of the Pancha Mahabhuta is water only. Apaha. Five elements, one element is water. And therefore, by using the water here, water is used as a generic term for representing the entire Pancha Mahabhutani. And the entire Pancha Mahabhutani represents what? Sthula Prapancha. Right? Therefore, when he says Abhyapurvam, before the waters, you have to understand is that before the Panchamahabhutani was born, which means before the Sthula Prapancha was born, because Panchamahabhutani represents what? Sthula Prapancha, the gross world. Therefore, what is the order being given here? Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, and remember Sthula Prapancha here is Virat. So Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Virat. And how was the Hiranyagarbha born? Tapasa Jatam. Through the tapas of Antaryami, through the tapas of Ishvara. And what is this tapas? We have seen before. Ishvara's tapas is what? Does he sit in meditation for all the men? Does he fast, go on fasting? Does he not eat? What is the tapas?
Srishti.
Srishti is the product of that tapas. But what is the tapas of Ishvara?
Tapasa chiyate brahma, is it?
Very good. Tapasa chiyate. What does it mean?
Through tapas, he creates Brahmaji, and then from there, creation begins.
Yeah, but what is the tapas? Okay, you do know that you, the Jiva, are identical to Ishvara, right?
Yes,
Ishvara creates the Vyavaharik Prapancha. You create the Pratibhashika Prapancha. How do you create that
yeah.
Pratibhashika Prapancha?
From my waking state. The dream state is created from the waker's experiences.
Waking state is the cause for the dream state. Yes.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So, but who is it who creates the dream prapancha, the waker? How do you create?
Maya.
Maya is used for Ishvara.
Avidya. Then.
You create simply through a thought.
Vritti.
Your dream state, your dream universe is nothing but a thought in your mind. Mano vritti. Right? So if you are able to create the dream universe through manovritti, a thought in the vyashti, individual manaha, individual mind, what is the corresponding process for Ishvara to create this world?
Come
again?
He will also think about it.
Correct. A mere sankalpaha, which is called, just as you have a thought in your individual mind, Ishvara will have a thought in the cosmic mind, samashti mind. Samashti mind is what?
Hiranyagarbha.
Was the creation. We are talking about Ishvara, the first stage, Antaryami.
Antaryami.
So what is his mind? What is Antaryami's mind? You are forgetting Boda.
Karana Shariram.
Samashti Karana Shariram. Samashti Karana Shariram is also called what? Maya. You have to make the connections quickly. Right? So Brahman plus Maya is nothing but Ishvara. The same as Antaryami, which is Samashti Karana Shariram plus Brahman. Connection to be very clear. Maya means Samashti Karana Shariram. So that Samashti Karana Shariram is the equivalent of Ishvara's mind. And therefore, when you say Ishvara creates Sankalpa Matrena, your pure thought, pure will only, he creates by pure exercise of his will, he creates the universe. It means he has a thought in his mind. Maya Vritti. Right? Maya Vritti is the thought. Is the thought in the mind. That thought is the tapas. The visualization of what is to be created. That is the Maya Vritti. That is the tapas. So Ishvara Sankalpa, Sankalpa Matrena, the universe is created. Now, the Upanishads say that bodies So we often say in the beginning stages that all bodies are located in Atma. But now we are coming to a slightly refined expression. We are saying that it is okay to say that all bodies are located in Atma, but really speaking, they are not. They are not located in Atma because for something to be located in something else, two things are required. And if you are saying body is located in Atma, you are saying body is different and Atma is different. You get the idea? It is like saying that waves exist in water. Is that a correct statement? Technically,
No, because then we are saying that those two are different from each other.
exactly. So there are no waves other than water. So waves don't exist in water at all because they are water itself. And therefore, here we are coming to the conclusion that bodies, anatma, is not located in atma because anatma and atma are not two different things. Therefore, no body is located in atma, no loka, no world is located in atma. There is no macro universe. There is no micro universe. Everything is Atma only. And we, for our understanding, have divided the macro universe into Virat, Hiranyagarbha, and Ishvara. And the micro we have divided into what? Vishwa,
Vishwa, Taijasa, and
Tejasa,
Pragya.
and Pragya. Okay. So mantra number 5 talked about Atma appearing as Ishvara. This mantra 6, 7, and, and 9. So 8 is different. It is not about that. It is not in the sequence. So 6, 7, and 9, they talk about Atma appearing as Hiranyagarbha. That is Sukshma Prapancha. So that is what he's saying here. Guham Pravishya Tishthantam. The Sukshma Shariram, the Sukshma Prapancha, Hiranyagarbha, is available in every individual jiva also. How? Hiranyagarbha is the Samashti Sukshma Shariram. If you are saying that Hiranyagarbha is available in the Vyashti Shariram also, what are you saying? That Sukshma Shariram of Hiranyagarbha is available in every individual as the individual Sukshma Shariram. So when you say Samashti Sukshma Shariram, remember, it is nothing but the totality of all Vyashti Sukshma Sharirams. All the individual Sukshma Sharirams put together is nothing but the Samashti Sukshma Shariram. And where is this Sukshma Shariram available? In the Sthula Shariram. Therefore, Guham Pravishya. Within that cave, Guha. Here, Guha represents Sthula Shariram. Within that cave, Bhute Bihi, which means surrounded by the Panchabhutas, surrounded by Sthula Shariram. That Hiranyagarbha is available. Therefore, Yaha Vipashyata, this Jnani who understands that this Atma is available in his own body, surrounded by the Panchamahabhutas. That Atma is available for me also, he understands. As what? As me. Etad Vaitat. That Atma is available here with a different Nama. A very complex mantra. So, what is the final meaning? The final meaning is that Brahman alone appears or is available in Hiranyagarbha also. And now, if you look at Maya and Atma, we are saying Maya and Atma are the same. But in the Vyavaharika Prapancha, you have three entities Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara. Maya has three components Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. And in Vyavaharika, we have three components: Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara. What is the connection between Atma, the three gunas, and Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara?
Atma is Gunatita.
No, I'm saying that can this Jagat exist without Atma?
No.
Because you said Virat. When you say Virat, what does it mean? Sthula Prapancha
Plus
plus,
Brahma.
Yes, the
Brahman.
OC.
right? Sthula Prapancha means Maya. I am saying that Maya has three components: Tamas, Rajas, and Sattvam. What is the difference between Jagat, Jiva, and Ishvara? Because all
Ishvara.
three are ultimately Maya only plus Atma. So why are there three different names? Because there are
Because
three different gunas.
yeah. So Ishvara has control over the gunas, I mean Maya, but as a Jiva, it's opposite.
Anybody else?
Theoretically.
Natarajanji, would you like to try?
Can we say Jiva
Hello.
is Rajasic, Ishvara is Sattvic? Can we speak on those lines? Are we looking at that?
Very good. So complete it.
So Ishvara is Sattvic, predominant, or what we say amongst the gunas.
Not
Jiva
like
is
that. You have to
Rajasic.
make a complete statement using Atma, Gunas, Maya, and Jagat Jiva Ishvara. Then only the understanding will be clear.
Mm,
Okay, let me help you out.
Atma is common to all these, Jagat, Jiva, Ishvara. Jagat will be tamas pradhan,
Very good.
Jiva will be rajas pradhan, and Ishvara will be sattvic pradhan.
Very good. Therefore, Atma associated with Tamas Pradhana Maya. Atma associated with Tamas predominant Maya is called Jagat. Atma associated with Rajas Pradhana Maya is called Jiva. Atma associated with Sattva Pradhana Maya is called Ishvara. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions? So I don't think there is time to
Uh,
take up the next mantra. Yes, Himanshu.
Sir, quick one. Why Tamas with Jagat and Rajas with Jeev and not the other way?
Tamas is inert. Jagat is inert, can't do anything. You don't find the Prithvi, doing anything at all.
Okay.
Therefore, inertia is part of that. Rajas is because Jiva is always active. And therefore, Jiva is Rajas Pradhana. And Sattva is because creative power is there. That is for Ishvara.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, so if Maya Vritti is tapas for Ishvara,
Yeah.
so for Jiva, for Jiva, any vritti in a waking state.
Vritti involved in creation. Like you're creating the universe. It's only a example used to explain the process of creation for Ishvara. So if you use a thought to create the dream universe, Ishvara also has to use a thought to create the waking universe. Because you, the Jiva, are a microcosm while Ishvara is macro.
Sir, in a way, are we going like Drigdrishya from the sense organs to in these verses that we are doing or we have done? Is there any sequence in that we are doing? We
We are
started
not
with the
doing a
sense
Panchakosha Viveka. That's what you're asking. No. We are trying to come to a
or a
conclusion.
Drigdrishya Viveka. Are we doing a Drigdrishya Viveka? We started with the sense
Why do you want?
organs. We
Why do you
said.
want to, compare? One is a text, one is a Upanishad.
No, I was just
Ultimately,
looking at the sequence.
all
Yes,
texts, Vedantic texts, have their material drawn from Shastra only. Even Bhagavad
right.
Gita has material drawn from Shastra only. So there are bound to be similarities.
Correct. Yes, yes.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, we'll end with
Oh,
this.
sir, you said,
Yes.
yeah. So Jagat, is Jiva not part of Jagat?
No.
Okay.
Jiva is non-different from Ishvara from that point of view,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So you have to look at it in the terms of if overall picture, if you see, it is Satyam Mithya concept. If you are
Yes.
taking the Mithya part of it, Jagat Jiva are one. If you are taking Satyam part of it, Jagat Ishvara are. We are looking at that. We are looking at movement from the triangular format of Jagat Jiva Ishvara into the binary format of Ishvara Jagat, or also called Atma Anat.
Okay.
Therefore, you cannot take Jiva as part of. See, you can take the physical body as part of Jagat without any doubt,
Okay.
or the Sukha Shariram also. When you
Mm-hmm.
say Jiva and Ishvara are one, you are not equating either the physical body or subtle body. You are equating
Mm-hmm.
what?
Brahman,
Consciousness.
Brahman. Atma. I
Only
mean that part.
Only,
consciousness alone,
Yes.
only
only
Atma
the
alone.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is the way
Okay.
to understand.
I I mean the common sense is Jagat equal to, I mean, many things including Jiva.
Only as long as you don't take Atma into the equation.
Yes. Yes. Good. Thank you.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते
दच्यते
पूर्णस्य
पूर्णस्य
पूर्णमादाय पूर्णं
पूर्णमादाय
मेवावशिष्यते
पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते
ॐ
ॐ
शान्ति
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 शान्तिः
शान्तिः
ॐ तत्सत् ॐ
ॐ
नमः
तत्
शिवाय
ॐ नमः
थैंक यू फॉर
शिवाय
योर
थैंक यू
पेशेंस
आचार्य
ॐ
थैंक
Thank
यू
you.
आचार्य